And we're back for another video on a very cold, very snowy Wisconsin day with the X5. I'm gonna try doing something I haven't really done before, and I thought about this because of the car being electric and me having a lot of issues with my remote start system. So, it's cold. To show you guys, the car currently has 0 miles of range, right? Car is empty. Because it has 0 miles of range, I cannot copyright. I cannot remote start the car. Yes, this is my BMW X5 45e, and in BMW plug-in hybrid vehicles, if the battery has no charge, you cannot remote start the car. Nobody told me this when I bought the car, and it's very annoying. So on a cold day like this, if there's no charge in your battery, there's no preheating, there's no preconditioning or anything like that, you're kind of out of luck. Why? Again, I don't want to get into the why. I don't really know why. A lot of people on the forums are like, oh, it's because, it's a plug-in hybrid and, they don't want to use the engine and they don't want people running the engine in garages while it's charging, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's real because, like, any other hybrid vehicle from any other company can remote start. Right? I get this is a plug-in hybrid, but, like, if it's plugged in, it should be smart enough to use the battery. And if it's not plugged in and there's no range, it should be smart enough to turn on the engine like it normally would, like right now. Like, the engine just turns on and the car heats itself. But instead, what I have to do is I have to use this little button, this little charge indicator. It shows charging battery. So you click this, and then you get this thing called battery control. So you set target value, and you can set this car to charge it between 30 and 100. Now, if the battery's at like 50%, for example, and you have it set to 30, it'll continue using electric until you hit 30%, where it'll fire up the engine, and it won't go past that little notch right there, right? And you can, adjust it as you will. So do 80%. I'll just jump that notch right up to there. So I want to see how long it'll take to fully charge it while driving. Now, I've used this before here and there, but I don't really use it to get it like to 100%. I use it to get it to like 30%, so I can remote start it if I know I'm going to be inside of like the mall or something. And the car's dead, but I want it to be cold. I will use it to charge the car a little bit. So the engine just fired up, and then just to show you guys, the chip computer is cleared. As you guys can see, 00000. So we are gonna go on the same drive we just did in my last video. We are gonna see what this car can do on the highway. It's an 80-mile drive to get an oil change. This is also my last free oil change on this car. So I basically went, what is it? 30,000, no, 20,000. Hold on. I don't even remember how many miles I have in this car that I put on since individual. I went 21,270,000 miles without paying for service. Now, as long as nothing breaks, I will last another 10,000 miles, so I'll have 31,000 miles before I got to pay for my actual oil change. I'm not going to last that long because the car does need tires, so those are going to come out of my pocket. Those are, I've seen between like $14,000 and $2,000 for my 20-inch rims also. That's kind of not fun. I want to put Michelin cross climates on it, but I don't want to give up the run flat tire ability, because I don't have a spare or room for a spare. But anyway, so we'll get to the video. I can tell the car's in charge mode. It is like the engine's just running. The engine doesn't want to turn off, doesn't want to coast. You just feel the engine always humming in the background. Like, it's not, to a normal person, it's not noticeable. To me, that when I'm always driving this car in electric mode, it is noticeable. But we're gonna grab a white Monster and get on the road. But yeah, the car is charging itself right now. So we'll see how long it takes to charge it, how many miles it takes to charge the car to 100%, and what the gas mileage is. Because I know this thing's going to get absolute abysmal gas mileage doing it. Like, horrible gas mileage doing it. But we'll check back in on a little bit, guys. Okay, guys, we're checking in right now. We're at about a quarter battery regen gain filled, whatever. In that, it took us 15.7 miles of driving to get a quarter of our battery range, and we're averaging 15.6 miles per gallon. Now, normally this thing averages between like 26 and 30 on the highway. So I told you guys it's very low on the highway. We're getting 15.6 miles per gallon on the highway. Now, the last time I did this drive, it was 86 miles. This one's going to be 80 because I'm stopping a little bit shorter for the oil change. But at that time, I averaged 49.3, and that was with a full battery, drained the battery, and then drove on the engine the rest of the way. This time, we're going to, I think, what makes more sense, instead of charging the battery and then using the charge just back down to 0, I think it makes more sense just to charge it to 100 and then just go into regular hybrid mode and just maintain that 100% and just keep it, up there, just to see how bad this affects it. I think it's weird to charge it, get 15 miles a gallon, charging it up, and then use the range, the electric range, it's whatever, right? I want to maintain and keep it at 100, right? Because I want to use it for remote start and stuff. So we're going to see, but again, we're at 15.7 miles per gallon now. I told you guys it gets horrible gas mileage when it's charging. But yeah, 17 miles gave us about 30%. So we're going to keep going. And we're back for our 3/4 of the way check-in. We have 17 miles of range gained. It's about 75% battery. We are up to 17.1 miles per gallon at 70 miles an hour. And we've been driving for 46.9 miles. So 47 miles at 17 miles per gallon, but that got us back 21 miles of range. So we're going to keep chugging along. We got 25% more battery to fill up. And I've been keeping it on. So I can tell when the car's still charging. But I've been keeping it on, not this one, this energy flow screen, just to keep an eye on it. But yeah, keep an eye out for you guys. But again, I can feel the slight lug on the engine. I wish it showed me an RPM gauge or something instead of a power gauge, so I can actually see the RPM, see if they're actually higher than normal. I'd assume they would be, but I can feel it. But yeah, I'll check back in a little bit, guys. And we're back for the final check-in. So we're at 100%. As you guys can see, MPG is starting to climb back up to the mid-20s. So we're starting to climb on the MPG. 18.4 miles per gallon, though, is what we averaged. It took us 70 miles at an average of 60.8 miles per hour, but it took us 70 miles to fill up the battery. And as you can see now, our MPGs are just climbing like normal. The car's going back to what it needs to do. But 70 miles to get the battery to charge from 0 or 5%, whatever it is, to 100, which is the 17 kilowatt hours. So yeah, and 18 miles a gallon. Now, in hindsight, 18 miles a gallon isn't horrible. But it's still this car would have been getting 28, 29. So if you think you're gonna do this and then use the battery later and save charge and stuff like that, it's not worth it. Where it's worth it is if you're using it like I am, where I'm gonna go get an oil change, go shopping, or remote start the car here and there because it's 28 degrees out right now, and use it to remote start the car. Otherwise, I see no reason to put it into charge mode. Some people say they do it because they live in the mountains and you get more power, or they want to drive silently around the city in EV. And this car is quiet enough. The B58's amazing. Even when I'm in the city and I'm driving the car, you don't hear it, you don't feel it unless you get on it, then you feel it. Right now, if I floor it, yeah, no, I hear the engine, right? But otherwise, in normal driving, you don't hear anything, you don't feel anything. The car's quiet, it's supple, it's nice. But that's what charge mode is. 18 miles a gallon on my 61, 70 miles an hour highway loop. It took me 69 miles to fill it up, which again is a lot to fill up the car. But if you need charge mode, you need charge mode. But if you guys have any more questions, if you have any ideas, if you guys want to know anything about the car, let me know in the comments. Somebody commented this in one of my other videos, so I thought I'd do a video on it. But yeah, thank you guys for checking in. I'll see you guys in the next video.